Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just give me 1 minute. Before that, can you start thinking about what are all the pastimes that we saw from last time? So I just want you to recollect it and then let me know so that we can start discussing about that. Okay, we can just give you all 1 minute time and please go ahead and do that. Okay, so anybody knows what has happened last time? Anything that you remember from last time? So we saw about Sharabanga, Rishi Sharabanga, right? Aditya, do you want to say something?
No, not her.
Sarabanga Rishi, that Indra was going to come and pick him up and take him to Brahmaloka. And then Sharabanga Rishi said, Rama is here, so I'd want to probably meet him for a little bit before actually going to the Brahmaloka. And then, so that was what he said. And then Sharabanga Rishi actually told Rama to actually meet who's that Rishi? Great sage named Sutikshna. And he also said that there's time for me to quit the body. So, but Rama, I want to personally see you and then quit my body. So this is what I want. And he ascended to Brahmaloka and he was welcomed by the inhabitants there. And then accompanied by the sages, Ram proceeded to the ashram of Sukishna. This is what Sharabanga Rishi said, and he then proceeded to the ashram of Sushikshna. After receiving Rama's obeisances, the Rishi said, I've been waiting for you. Indra actually came and told me about your imminent arrival, and I did hear about you coming into this place. I mean, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana actually spent that night in Sushikshna's ashrama. Sushikshna then embraced Rama, inviting him to return to the ashrama after visiting different hermitages in the Dandakaranya forest. And then Sita kind of advised Rama. Remember that point where Sita was telling, oh, so yeah. Rama, you know, you are actually free from two of these things. Like she said, you're free from false speech. You're also free from sexual relationships with other wife. Like you are very chaste to your wife. But then kind of, I'm not sure if you're going to show cruelty to animals. Because obviously animals, what happens as a result, he was just telling about karma, right? I mean, in the sense, once there was a great Rishi, he performed very good austerities, and then Indra actually became afraid of this Rishi because he was doing great austerities, and with the desire to obstruct Rishi's advancement, Indra actually came in a disguise of a warrior. And Indra handed the Brahmana a sword and requested, please keep this for me till the time I come and pick it from you. And this person who's a Brahmana actually kept the sword with him. And because of that reason, he actually became tempted to use the sword at different points in time. And because of that, his Brahmanical nature, he used to perform severe austerities. And now he's not even performing any kind of austerities. And he's changed as a person. So we need to understand that his quality got changed. Indra actually changed his quality by giving him a weapon, and he started using the weapon. And because of it, his Brahmanical qualities are not there in him anymore. And then he started to indulge himself in violence, because that is what he would do with a sword. And the Rishi actually became degraded. And where did he go? He actually went to hell. So this is the poor scenario of this is what the Rishi had to go through. And then, therefore, my husband said, my dear husband, since the Brahmanas are simply vanquished by the association of Indra's sword, I request you to keep the bow in hand, only to kill the Rakshasas that are harassing the Rishis. And he also mentioned about, see, whatever it is, Sita, whatever advice you've given me is very valid. At any case, I have to keep up the promise of the Brahmanas. And if I cannot at any point not obey the Brahmanas or not fulfill, because Brahmanas came to Rama and asked him, okay, Rama, please take care of us because we need your shelter. That the Rakshasas are troubling us. So he was obliged to kind of go with what the Brahmanas want from him. And so now I can renounce you and Lakshmana also, but I cannot renounce. I cannot actually renounce the promise that has been given to the Brahmanas. This is what I can't renounce. And then so this is what happened, right? And what else? So we also saw about so this will be asked. Okay, so after I recap, I will be kind of asking you some questions before we get started. Okay, so I really want everybody to pay attention and not be distracted or deviated. Okay, if you have any questions so far, please raise your hands and we can take care of the questions before we actually get into the topic for today's discussion. Is that okay?
I just came.
Oh, no problem, Neet. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
Yeah, join the class.
I was in my friend's house for a sleepover yesterday, so that's why.
Wonderful. So now what happened? So there's a sage called Mandakarini with his mystic power. Once Mandakarini Rishi, he performed austerities for 10,000 years. And only he was subsisting on what? Air. Just air, nothing but air. And then the demigods became fearful, thinking that Rishi is going to maybe occupy one of the prominent posts. And thus they deputed 5 apsaras to actually distract and deviate Mandakarini Rishi. And the Rishi became captivated by the women. He fell prey to the girls and the apsaras, and he started to have them as his wife. And even today, in the Rishi's ashram, we can hear the sound that is coming from the apsaras. That is the music of the apsaras. They constantly serve the Rishi, and the Rishi has regained his youth, meaning he has performed the austerities for 10,000 years just subsisting on air. So obviously he has got this mystic powers, because of which he is not becoming old and he has regained his youth. So this is what he got. And this is about Mandakarini Rishi. And now Rama, Sita and Lakshmana went on wandering from ashrama to ashrama in the Dandakaranya forest. And in this way, 10 years of Ram's exile passed comfortably and contently. After this time, they returned to the hermitage of Sushikshna to reside. Can you all understand so far what had happened? We talked about Sarabanga Rishi, what happened with him. He went to Brahmaloka and he wanted to see Rama and eventually quit his body, and that is what happened. Before he went away, he wanted Rama to actually meet Sushikshna sage. And then what happened was, during that time, Sita actually happened to advise Rama, saying, you are good with 2 things, meaning you don't do false speech or you don't go after another woman. But then one thing I'm a little bit worried about is you may kill animals, but I really don't want you to kill animals. And then Rama actually told that, oh, no problem. I'm not going to, I'm definitely going to follow your advice, but I cannot renounce my promise that I have made to the Brahmanas. I really can't do that. I cannot afford to do that. And even I can renounce you and Sita, but I can't renounce the promise that I have given to the Brahmanas. I will definitely take care of them. And if need be, I have to kill the Rakshasas who are troubling the Brahmanas. And then there is a little bit of history about Mandakarini Rishi. We spoke about that. and how that rishis performed austerities, but still he used his austerities and mystic powers to actually be with the apsaras. And even today we can hear the noises from the cave of the apsaras actually serving this Mandakarani rishi. And in this way, how many years have passed? 10 years have passed. Are you all paying attention so far? Okay, so now I'll ask some questions. Okay, the first question. What about Sharabanga Rishi, Nihika?
So the thing about Sarvanga Rishi was that you said that he got like Indra came to him and he said that Lord Rama with Sita and Lakshman will be coming. So he's been waiting, and then finally when Lord Rama came, he gave up his body.
Yes, that he wanted to leave Ram. I mean, he wanted to leave his body in the presence of Lord Ram, and that is what he did. Very good job. Okay, Aditya, what was the advice Sita happened to give, and what were the two things that she was not worried about with Lord Ram? Hare Krishna. I'm not able to hear you. I can't hear you still.
No one can.
Aditya? I can't hear you, dear. Okay, we have a new joining, Mihika's sister also. Wow. Aditya, can you just speak up? You just have to probably unmute and mute again. Maybe that will work. Okay, I can't hear. Type the answer, Aditya. And then, okay, so the next question, I'm just going to leave that question. Aditya, you have to type and let me know. And then how about Shiva? Who was Sharabanga asking him to go to who? Which rishi?
I don't remember.
Okay. Okay, Manhar, do you want to say who was he requesting him to go to? Okay, I don't hear from him. I don't know if he's there. Okay, Govind.
What you said?
Who the Sharabanga rishi actually requested Ram to go and meet with somebody? Who's it?
Sri Krishna?
Correct. So Krishna. Very good. Very attentive you are. And then what about Mandakarani rishi? Neve, do you want to say, Neve?
What?
Mandakarani rishi, we spoke about him for a little bit. He was subsisting only on something.
He was subsisting only on air.
Yeah, he was subsisting only on air. Very, very good job listening, Neve. Good job. Okay, Aditya, I'm hearing that Sita said to Ram, don't be with other people and also be kind to the innocent. Don't be with other people. Don't kill other animals unnecessarily, because there's a story that is connected to it, right? Do you remember the story that Sita happened to tell? It's a very interesting story. Yeah, we need to remember that. So the story goes about to say that there's Brahmana was there and he was actually performing austerities, but Indra was kind of worried about him performing austerities, because whenever somebody performs austerities, Indra thinks that his position would be at stake. And then Indra was worried with this Brahmana and he happened to give him a sword. Brahmana was given a sword and he started to misuse the sword that was given to him, because of which he lost all the Brahmanical traits and he fell down from his position and went to hell. Are you okay? This is very important story that Sita happened to say in connection to. Can you all listen, please? I think we need attention here. So this is just a start of the class. Today is Ekadasi. So let's kind of focus on trying to meditate upon Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. They are all non-different, right? So let's try to pay some attention.
Just a minute, because I'm not at the house right now.
Oh, no problem, dear Manhar. So what I'm saying in terms of the story is, can you listen again? This will be the last time I will say this. But for those who haven't paid attention. So there was this Brahmana, he was performing austerities, and Indra was getting anxious. Oh my God, this guy is performing austerities. Maybe he will take up my position. He was performing severe austerities. So Indra thought, I have to do something about this guy. So he gave this Brahmana a sword and asked him and told him, I will come and pick it up whenever I can. Till that time, you please keep the sword. Like that, he went and told him. And then Indra happened to keep that, this Brahmana happened to keep that sword. But in the course of time, he started to misuse, because the sword was there. He was always tempted to kill some animals, kill something. So in this way, he started abusing or misusing the sword that was given to him. Eventually, he lost all the Brahmanical qualities, and he actually fell down from the position and he went to hell. Imagine what happened. So Sita is telling him, see, please don't kill innocent animals. Please don't trouble them. I don't want you to be troubled, because see how these Brahmana actually fell down. Like that, I actually don't want you also to fall down. She's out of real concern for Lord Ram, she was saying this. Are you clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. And now after this incident happened, they went to Sushikshna's ashrama, and then we talked about Mandakarani Rishi. Who wants to say about Mandakarani Rishi? Manhar, can you say, dear? What did I say? Neve did mention he was subsisting only on air. And
okay, go and then try the next question.
The air thing, I know the answer. So like there's a Rishi, he was like only breathing, nothing else. And then Indra thought maybe he would take my position. So Indra sent some apsaras to like make him, like distract him from his austerities. Then he got like
he became susceptible. Yeah, he just fell prey to it. He couldn't continue the austerities anymore. Yeah.
Wives and so today you can hear the voice of the apsaras.
Yeah, even today you can hear the voice of the apsaras, and that is how Mandakarani Rishi also got distracted. Okay, and now I have to turn on the light. Okay, little bit, yeah. Okay, so now he actually spent 10 years in this way, roaming around the forest. All of you all, please pay attention to the class, okay? So one day, now we are actually getting into today's class, all right? While, one sec, let me see.
You start getting to, because you said we could on our videos.
Yeah, you can turn on your videos. Some people, I don't know why they don't want to turn on the videos, but
why I turn off my video when my mom was.
No, let's just not get distracted, dear. Hare Krishna. I will talk now, so you all stay in mute for some time. When I ask you questions, you can talk again. Okay? While one day conversing with Sushikshna, Ram said, I have heard that there is a great sage Agastya lives somewhere in Dandakaranya. I could not find him in this vast forest. This forest is so big, yaar. I can't even find out where Agastya Muni is. But I want to go and meet him. And I want to actually receive his blessings. Please direct me to his ashrama. Can you tell me? Yeah, can you tell me where he is so that I can go and take his blessings? Agastya Rishi. And this is being asked by Rama to Sushikshna. So the conversation is between Rama to Sushikshna. And this, what is he asking? I want to go and meet Agastya Rishi. and I want to take his blessings. Can you please tell me, this forest is so big, I'm not able to find out where he is. Please guide me so that I'd be able to go and see him. And after taking directions from Sushikshna, Ram departed, accompanied by Sita and Lakshmana. Then they came to the vicinity of Agastya Rishi's ashrama. Ram narrated the following history. It's a beautiful story. Okay, it's a story. Are you all listening? For the, it's a beautiful story, and it's going to involve a lot of humor also. What is humor? Humor means we can all laugh at this. Okay, please listen carefully. Once there were two Rakshasa brothers. What were their names? Vatapi and Ilvala. Who are they? Vatapi and Ilvala. Okay, so now Ilvala would take a form of Ilvala would take a form of a Brahmana. How would he disguise this? Rakshasa is disguising himself. This Ilvala, he is going to disguise himself as a Brahmana, and he will start to speak Sanskrit. He would invite some real Brahmanas to a memorial ceremony. And before the arrival of a Brahmana, what would Ilvala do? Ilvala would have Vatapi take a form of a ram. Are you clear? So now this Ilvala, he actually would disguise himself as a Brahmana, and what will he do? He will invite the real Brahmanas for a memorial ceremony, and before the ceremony would begin, this Vatapi, he will disguise himself into a ram. Okay, ram is a form of sheep or a goat, I think. All right. And before the arrival of the Brahmanas, Ilvala would have Vatapi take the form of a ram. Then after cooking his brother, he would cook his brother, okay, because this is the ram, right? He would cook his brother, and Ilvala would feed him to the invited Brahmanas. And when Vatapi thus entered the Brahmana's stomach, Ilvala would loudly call. Now Vatapi is entering into this Brahmana's stomach, right? He would call what? Ilvala, Ilvala, please, oh brother, please come out now. Like that, he's asking Vatapi to come out of the stomach of the Brahmanas. And then, being summoned, Vatapi would tear open the Brahmana's stomach and would come out like bleating like a ram.
Mataji, but why would he even go into the Brahmana's thing?
He just wants to, again, they're causing trouble to the Brahmanas by killing them. Eventually, if they have to come out of the stomach of the Brahmanas, they would kill the Brahmanas and eat them. That is what they want to do at the end of the day. Are you able to understand, Varun? Very good question. Okay, yeah. This is how they were troubling all the real Brahmanas out there. So we have two Rakshasas. What were their names? Ilvala and Vatapi. And Ilvala would disguise himself as a Brahmana, and what will he do? He will go call all the Brahmanas. Brahmana, we have a memorial ceremony here. Let's just go and please join us. And we have a feast also arranged. And then now Vatapi will take a form of the ram. And then the Brahmanas would be fed this ram, and they will start to consume this ram. And at that time, Ilvala will call him, Vatapi, come out. And now Vatapi will come out blurting out like a ram. And then he'll tear open Brahmana's stomach. In this way, all the Brahmanas were troubled by these two Rakshasas. Finally, at the request of demigods, Agastya Muni went as an invited guest. So all the demigods, what did they do? They asked Agastya Muni, you please, yeah.
Yeah, I fixed it. So why are they eating the ram?
Yeah, so this is a beautiful question. At that time, when there is no things that are there in the forest, right? If there is nothing available, that is when they start to eat. And so this is, and they would perform sacrifices and only eat. There is a recommendation in the Vedas where they are allowed to follow certain rules and regulations, and based on that they would eat, because that's nothing available. Okay, not for any other reason.
Aren't there like other things too, like fruits?
Yeah, so that's what, whenever there is an invitation by other Brahmanas, and when they are fed, they just follow through that etiquette. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's an obligation, right? Sometimes when we are invited, we just go and follow through the norm and finish the ceremony, because again, it's all a sacrifice and it's all done for the regulations. They are okay with that. Okay. But again, this is not for us to imitate or think like that. The thing is, these people are all these people are so into so much of austerities that nothing gets contact. They are in direct contact with demigods and also they are in such elevated positions. So we should imagine, and we are no way closer to them, or we can't imitate them by any means. Okay, this is just for us to understand that these two rakshasas are troubling us. That's what is the intent. And now,
so where did these rakshasas come from? Like, it just
they're all in the Dandakaranya forest, and these people
Okay.
were going to go and meet Agastya Rishi, and there is a history on that. That's what is the recount.
Oh, but so the demons wanted to meet Agastya Rishi. So then
No,
thought
Rama
Rama
wanted to.
wanted.
Yeah, Rama wanted to, but Agastya Rishi is going to come now. He is going to actually kill these demons. That is the history of
Oh, so the
Agastya Muni.
demons were troubling Agastya Rishi?
Yeah, now see, that's what I'm going to come to it. So now the demigods, they were saying this Rakshasas are creating a lot of trouble for Brahmanas. Agastya Rishi, you should somehow go as an invited guest. And then Agastya Rishi actually obliged to their orders, and he went as an invited guest to both of them. I mean, he went to Ilvala's and Vatapi's memorial ceremony. Agastya ate Vatapi in the form of a ram. But then when Ilvala called out, usually Ilvala will call out, right? Vatapi come out of the stomach of he will call out, right? Come out of the stomach of the Rishi. Now, Agastya Rishi is saying, I have already digested this guy. He was there in my stomach. I have already digested him. And I have actually sent him to the abode of Yamaraj. And now when Vatapi is saying, I have already digested him, he is being sent to the Yamaloka. And Ilvala, when he heard this, he tried to attack Agastya Muni because he was not happy. He was not happy that his brother is dead because he has to do this act over and over again with other Brahmanas. So what will he do without his brother, right? So he was in a very fit of rage. He was very angry. However, Rishi burnt him to ashes with his angry glance. Thereafter, the Rakshasas feared Agastya Muni in his ashrama, and his ashrama remained free from the Rakshasa attack. All right. So this is what is the history of Agastya Muni. His ashrama is free from attack of these deadly demons, and this is because all of them
This is because
feared him.
the fear, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Rama entered Agastya Rishi's ashrama, sitting places were prepared, and there they were provided with suitable welcome. After finishing the meal, Agastya Muni presented Rama with a bow of Vishnu that had been constructed by Vishwakarma, along with two inexhaustible quivers, which were received from Indra. So he got a bow, which was, he is going to give Rama a bow, which he received it from Lord Vishnu. And this was actually constructed by who? Vishwakarma. And then he also gave two inexhaustible quivers from Lord Indra, an infallible arrow, and it was such a kind. And then turning to Sita, Agastya started to praise Sita. What did he praise Sita? See, Sita, what have you done? You have such an external glory of voluntarily accepting hardship for the sake of your husband. See how you are a queen and you are supposed to be in the kingdom. But since Ram happened to be sent to the forest, you are also going through that misery along with him. You have such a glory, Sita. I'm so proud of you. This is meritorious, since it is the nature of a woman since dawn of creation to love a man only as long as he is prosperous. See, women usually love a man as long as he is prosperous, but you love a man even if he is not prosperous. Rama is not prosperous condition anywhere now, right? He's in the forest, he has to suffer, he is eating whatever is available, he's just living in a small cottage. Like that, he has to go through so many hardships. Along with that hardships, you're also going through, Sita. You have such an you are such a glorious wife. Because women of these days, they don't follow this norm of taking hardships with the husband. Thereafter, Rama asked Agastya to suggest a place for his residence. And after some time, the Rishi thought through it. Okay, where can I send Ram? He's asking me for a residence. I have to send him to a good place. Where can I send? Okay, there is Panchavati. There is this place called Panchavati, and it's 16 miles near the banks of Godavari. Very important. Panchavati. Can you remember this, guys? Panchavati. and it is 16 miles from the river Godavari. I already know about your entire life by the dint of yogic perceptions, which has been enhanced by the love for you. After leaving the Rishi's ashrama, traveling on the way to Panchavati, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana, they happened to come across Jatayu, right? So this is important. So now we are
Then
able to.
later after, then
Hare
Jatayu.
Krishna. Yes. So thinking at first that he may be a Rama, looking at him, he thought, okay, this guy may be a Rakshasa. It's looking like a Rakshasa, at least for me. So he was gigantic king of vultures. Okay. And then, so Rama and Lakshmana and Sita, they actually inquired upon his identity. Who are you? Who are you? Like that. And with mild words, that mannerism, look at it. He's not fierce, right? He's not like very angry or anything like that. In a mild words, with mild words, Jatayu replied, "My dear child, I was a good friend of your father, Dasharath. Long ago, Kashyapa married 8 daughters of Daksha. And from Vinata, Aruna was born, and from Tamasa, Saini took birth. And I am the son of Aruna and his wife Saini. And my name is Jatayu. My dear Rama, please accept me as your sincere servant. There are fierce Rakshasas in this place. And whenever you, Lakshmana and Sita, you, Lakshmana, leave this cottage, I will take care of Sita and protect her during that time." Because of Jatayu's previous relationship with his father, Rama actually bowed down to Jatayu. See how, since he was a friend of his father, he paid respects to him like a father. He paid obeisances to him. This vulture king accompanied them to Panchavati. I told you, right? You should remember this place, Panchavati. Keeping a watchful eye the entire time. Okay, he was very watchful and alert as to what could happen to these guys, and he was always protective of them. Arriving at Panchavati, Rama selected a suitable site for building their cottage. And it would be good to make our residence near the lake, like that he thought, or river or water, so that we can actually enjoy the scenic beauty. Sometimes you want to enjoy the scenic beauty, and it will be nice to have some sort of a water place, right? Just to enjoy the nature. So Rama wanted such a kind of place. He just wanted to stay close by the river, or just wanted to stay close by the water area. And Ram selected a site near the banks of Godavari and the adjacent lake, beautifully adorned with pink and white lotuses, blue lotuses. The land was flat, giving an unobstructed view of the entire area. The cries of the swans and waterfowl could be heard from the river, along with those of peacocks echoing from the caves of the nearby hills. See how nice this place is. There were sounds of the peacocks that were echoing from the caves. And there was beautiful swans and white and blue lotuses in the lake. And after building a suitable cottage, they consecrated it with flower offerings, and Rama happily entered it. Now Rama is entering the cottage that has been constructed for him to live. Are you clear so far? So Jatayu, he is the friend of who?
Mataji, who
Dasharath.
constructed the cottage?
Lakshmana, and they all help. They're all ready to serve Rama in all ways, right? Obviously, anytime anything, Lakshmana is always ready to serve, and maybe Jatayu also helped. It's not mentioned here, but I'm just thinking that those two would have been the ones who would have helped with the construction of the cottage for Lord Ram. And this place was beautiful. It was actually adjacent to river Godavari, and he wanted it because he wanted to live in a scenic area. And then, so we could see the white and the blue lotuses in the lake. And we also could hear the peacocks that were coming. The sounds of the peacocks were echoing from the caves nearby. And then we also saw that there were swans in the lake. So it's such a beautiful sight. That's what I want to tell you. And who was Jatayu? Jatayu was the friend of Dasharath Maharaj. And Rama actually initially thought him to be a Rakshasa, but then he was a king of vultures. So just looking at him, he just thought him, okay, he might be a Rakshasa. But then Jatayu clarified mildly to say that he was a friend of the Dasharath Maharaj. And because of that reason, Ram actually paid obeisances to him. And Jatayu also told him, see, I can take care of Sita whenever you and Lakshmana have gone out. Okay, I'll take care of her and I'll protect her as a fatherly figure. Don't even worry about it. And I'll select a suitable place for you in Panchavati for you to stay. Okay? Are you clear so far? Shiva is saying, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Varun, are you clear, dear? I know you're not well, but okay, good. Thank you. Okay, now there is a beautiful story that is going to come up. It is the story that we've been waiting for a very, very long time. But anyways, before that, we will see what is... Let's see. As winter gradually set in, the morning sunshine became pleasing to the sense of touch. One morning, just after Rama and Lakshmana returned from bathing in the river and were conversing about their religious duties, the Rakshasi happened to be on the scene. It is a Rakshasi, so meaning a female.
It is Ravana's sister.
Yeah, don't break the suspense, Govinda.
I
Some
know,
people...
but I'm not gonna put it. Her name starts with a S.
Yeah, maybe you can say something like that, but you should not break the suspense, right? That's not a good idea.
Say the answer. I'm just giving a hint.
Yeah, let's see. Who's that? And what happened here? Upon seeing Rama, her heart immediately became saturated with love. Just then when she saw Rama, oh my God, how nice and handsome he is. And she fell in love with Ram at first sight. With his glowing dark greenish bluish complexion and lotus petal eyes, Rama appeared to be god of love himself in human form. The Rakshasi, however, had an extremely ugly face. Very, very ugly she is. Imagine her ugliness. A large protruding belly like this. Big belly. And then deformed eyes and copper colored hair. Okay, some weird color hair. Blue color, right? Copper is blue. And then she had this blue colored hair. Whereas Rama's body was youthful and well proportioned, muscular, bearing all the signs of royalty. He was muscular looking. The men has to be muscular looking, right? They can't be like weak like this. He can't sit like this with a hunched back and all that. They have to be showing their manliness by having this muscular figure. Like that, Ram was such a figure. And Rakshasi's body was quite hideous on the brink of middle age. She was not youthful at all, okay? Although she could change the form at her will, she became very passionate upon seeing Rama, and she forgot to change her appearance. Okay, she just was so mesmerized looking at Ram that she didn't change her figure. She was such an ugly looking figure, right? She had a protruding belly, she had a copper colored hair, she was middle-aged, and she was just looking like a typical Rakshasi. And looking at Ram, she usually could change her form at her will. Like she just, like how Putana changed her form, like that this lady also could change her form. But then she did not, she forgot to do it because of Ram's beauty. Okay. And now what is happening?
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah? Yeah?
To Brahma to change her form in Kumkara. Also asked the boon Vibhishan asked to be in Lord Rama's bhakti forever.
Okay, so now we will see what happened. Ram is saying, my dear handsome one, please tell me, who are you and why have you come to this forest? Dressed like a hermit, she's asking Ram. This lady is asking Ram, who are you? You're looking so handsome. And why have you come here to this forest? That too, you're like a hermit. What's the point? What is the reason? You're dressed in the garb of an ascetic and you're wearing mated locks of hair, right? Like a rishi. Yet you are having this bow and you're also keeping a woman in your ashrama. What's up with this woman and what's up with this bow? And you're like a hermit and you're like a sage. What's going on? Please tell me who you are and I will fulfill your desires. Can you tell me who you are so that I can fulfill your desires? Please. In response, Ram briefly explained the incidents leading to his exile to this lady. He then asked this Rakshasi who she was. Can you tell me, now that I told about you myself, you have to tell me who you are. The love-stricken demoness replied, hear the truth, O lotus-eyed one. My name is Shurpanaka. And who am I? I am the sister of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana, Khara, and Dushana. I live in this forest and I actually strike fear amongst everybody. You know what? I do all these things and I create fear and tremor amongst everybody who stays here in this forest. Although my brothers are powerful, I surpass them all. I'm greater than all of them. I must frankly say, I become overwhelmed with love for you. My love is actually overflowing in my heart and I'm becoming so lovingly attached to you. My mind is made up to have you as my husband. You are my husband. I've made up my mind. I'm very clear about it. Give up your ugly, deformed wife. She's not worthy of a hero like you. There's somebody who's sitting there in the ashrama, right? Give up that lady. She's not worthy of you. She's so ugly looking. You should not be with her. Just give her up. I am very powerful and I can travel at will to anywhere, any place. Thus, I am the suitable partner for you. You should marry
Wait, did
me.
she know about Sita yet?
Yeah, she's saying no. She's saying that give up that lady. She's just ugly looking. You should just give up a lady, forget about her, and then come to me. You know why? Because I have all the power. I can just travel at will. I can go to any place I want. I can change my form. I can do anything. Name it, I can do it. So what you should do?
All
Just
demons
give up.
had those type of powers, right?
Yeah, they do have the powers.
They get boons.
Okay, first though, I will devour the fat-bellied Sita and your brother Lakshmana. So I will devour them. Don't worry. You know what? You just keep quiet. I can devour them. I can swallow them. Both your brother and your wife Sita. I will devour them. So you don't have to worry about them at all. Then we will freely travel all together in these hills, valleys, on this beautiful
She could have.
Dandakaranya forest. So we can travel freely and nicely, enjoy the scenic beauty of this Dandakaranya forest. As the Rakshasi looked upon him with love-filled eyes, Rama heartily started to laugh at her proposal. Rama then jokingly said, see, I'm a married man. And certainly a young, beautiful girl like you could not tolerate living with a co-wife. See, a beautiful girl like you can't tolerate to live with my wife Sita. It's not possible for you. However, my brother, he's ever greater hero than myself, and he doesn't have a wife yet. Therefore, I'm suggesting that you should actually marry my brother. He's a hero, and he doesn't have any wife. See, I'm a married man. I have a wife. I cannot leave my wife, and you cannot tolerate be living together because you're such a beautiful lady. Okay, so what I'm suggesting you should do. You should just go and marry my brother. He's a hero. Shurpanaka took Ram's words very seriously. And then she left to see Lakshmana, saturated with lusty desires. My dear handsome hero, you're indeed even more powerful and attractive than your brother. It looks like that to me. Therefore, I consider you suitable for me, isn't it? And come, make me your wife, and we shall roam together in this forest and enjoy this conjugal bliss of marriage. So what you should do, Lakshmana, see, actually after looking at Lakshmana, she became lusty for him. So this shows how fickle she was, right? She is anybody she was ready to marry, looks like. And looking at Lakshmana, she was having these lusty desires, and she said, you're attractive than Rama. So what we can do, we will just marry, and then we will roam in this forest nicely, enjoying ourselves. And Lakshmana smilingly replied, oh, soft-skinned and lovely-limbed lady, you should know that I am simply the servant of my elder brother. I don't do anything other than doing service to Lord Ram. Thus, if you were to marry me, it would mean that you would be no better than a maid servant. So if at all, if you have to marry me, who would you be? You would be a maid servant. I think you would be much better off by becoming Ram's second wife, for in time he will surely discard the aging of, because of the age Sita would age, he will accept you alone. because you don't, I mean, he's just simply trying to tease this girl, okay? Shurpanaga. He's just saying, oh, you know, Sita will become old and that time Ram will probably be with you, and rather than Sita, you can be his second wife rather than me, because if you are going to marry me, you would just be a maid servant, like that he's saying. You have such lovely face, adorned with sweet smiles, and you have a slender waist, and all men will forget all other women by marrying you. Who could resist you? Marry Ram, and he will cast aside his ugly wife. He cast aside his ugly wife, meaning he's saying Sita. Just trying to uh, pull Shurpanaga. Sometimes to pull somebody, we would say all these things, right? So like that, Lakshmana is saying all these things. And Shurpanaga was too simple-minded to understand Rama and Lakshmana were joking with her. She took it very seriously. When Ram told her to go and marry Lakshmana, she immediately went. She took the words of Ram seriously. And likewise, even now, she's taking the words of Lakshmana also very seriously. Okay, she didn't understand that they were joking with her. Sometimes we also get this, when somebody cracks jokes at us, we don't actually think it to be joke. Oh, Amma, I was just joking. Sometimes my son might joke with me, but I might just take it serious, thinking, oh, he didn't probably attend a class or something, but he would have attended a class, something like that, right? There would have been so many instances in your family also, where your parents might be joking with you, but you take them serious. And saying this, Shurpanaka rushed at Sita. However, Rama checked her, telling Lakshmana, you should not joke with this Rakshasi, because she might endanger Sita. She may cause harm to Sita. Now disfigure her in a way that will teach her a lesson. So Ram is actually instructing Lakshmana to disfigure her so that she can learn a lesson by this. Upon Rama's order, Lakshmana drew his sword, swiftly slicing off Shurpanaka's nose. Right? That was the thing. Nose and ears. As his elder brother looked upon, Shurpanaka screamed out in agony. Oh my God, it is paining when somebody snaps out your nose and ears. It's going to pain you, obvious pain to you, give pain to you. It started to bleed profusely, and then she fled out of the forest because that bleeding was so much that she could not tolerate it. She quickly went to Jasanta. There her brother Kara lived along with Rakshasas. Frightened and smeared with blood, Shurpanaka threw herself at brother's feet, weeping bitterly. Then Kara looked on. His sister incoherently tried to explain what had happened. So she actually went to her brother. First she went to Kara. She didn't go to Ravana yet. Okay. She went to Kara now and she started to explain what had happened to her. Seeing his sister's disfigurement, Kara's heart became filled with horror and rage. Breathing like a trampled snake, Kara said, oh sister, please get up and calm yourself. Compose yourself. Who dared to injure you? Does he not realize that he has drunk the poison by doing this? Who has done this to you? Doesn't he realize that he has actually drunk poison by doing this? He's harming himself by doing this to you. Doesn't he realize what he's doing? Is it fair? What is it? What is going on? Like that, he started to question. Does he not realize that he has drunk poison by doing this? There is not a demigod, demon, Gandharva, or a rishi who can harm you and escape with his life. Point out that culprit, and I shall drink blood with my sharp arrows. Point out. Tell me who that is, and I will drink his blood. Sobbing bitterly, Shurpanaka replied, there are two brothers, and one is Rama, another is Lakshmana. They are seen nearby here only in Dandakaranya forest. I don't know whether they are demigods or demons. However, since they have mutilated my face, I will only become satisfied after drinking their blood. I can only be satisfied only after drinking their blood. Kara then called for 14 of the most powerful Rakshasas and sent them with Shurpanaka to kill Rama and Lakshmana and Sita. As the Rakshasas approached, Rama was sitting in the cottage with Sita while Lakshmana guarded the doorway. Seeing these hideous man-eaters, Rama ordered Lakshmana, stay here with Sita while I fight with these Rakshasas. Like that, Rama So Rama told Lakshmana, see, I'll take care of them. You just be with Sita. Rama then called out to the Rakshasas. We have come to this forest at the request of the rishis who seek their protection for atrocities. We are living a life of austerity and eating only fruits and roots. Why have you come to disturb us? Why are you here, Rakshasas? What are we doing? We are here to protect the Brahmanas, the rishis. They have seeked us. They have seeked their help so that we can be of some help to them. And what we are doing is we are eating just fruits and roots and trying to stay calm and quiet in the forest. Why are you coming to disturb us like that? Ram actually asked these demons. Turn back now, if at all you value all your lives. Surprised at being challenged so courageously, the Rakshasa stared at Ram with the blood-red eyes, saying, our master Kara is very angry with you. He ordered us to kill you. How can you hope to fight with so many of us? In a moment, we shall crush you and all with our weapons, and you'll be dead. So the Rakshasa is saying, Ram, see, it is because of Kara, our master. He told us to actually kill you and your brother and Sita. That is why we have come here. We are so many of us, and you are just one person. In a matter of 2 minutes, we'll just crush you, and you'll be dead. Like that, the Rakshasas happened to. Okay, the Rakshasas happened to tell Rama. So now I think we can maybe start with our question and answer session. What do you think?
No, yes, little more, little.
What is that? Who is that? Asking for little more.
Going down, listen more.
Oh, very good. See how his attachment to Ramakatha has increased. Who wants more?
I don't want to question answers.
You don't want question and answers. That's not a good idea.
Me too.
Who's that? Who's me too? Who doesn't want question and answer?
Yeah.
Manu doesn't.
Wait, Mataji.
Huh.
What was the place where like the sage told Rama and Lakshmana and Sita to
Panchavati.
go?
Panchavati.
Panchavati. I knew it was Pancha something. I didn't remember.
Panchavati, and it's near Godavari, and there was
Yeah,
this
near the
beautiful
Godavari
scenic.
River, and then they wanted to build it near the river to have like the scenery.
And that scenery was also, I described you
Are we
that,
doing
and then
more, Kata? Are we?
and then we learnt about Shurpanaka, how she actually comes. I want somebody to say about the exchange that happened between Shurpanaka. Okay, let's start with that question. What was the exchange that happened between Shurpanaka and Rama, Aditya? I know you have a class after this, so you can
Yeah.
tell.
Wait, what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said okay. So Shurpanaka basically told she found Rama, and then she said, oh, since you're she forgot to change her form from her like the demon form to something more. Then she just told Rama, oh, like basically asking Rama to marry her. And then Rama jokingly said, oh, no. I'm actually already married. You should actually go marry Lakshmana, my brother. And then Lakshmana came, Surpanga talked to Lakshmana. Then Lakshmana said, oh, then you're just going to be a servant since I'm also a servant of Rama. And then she said, you should probably be Rama's second wife. And then, and that's how,
and then
Surpanaga didn't realize that they were joking and took it seriously.
Correct. So what happened after this? Go Shiva. What did Rama tell Lakshmana to do with Shurpanaka?
To cut her ears and nose.
Yeah, so she just wanted, because he was worried that she'd be attacking Sita, and Rama wanted her to learn a lesson out of this, and that is why Lakshmana did that to her. And now what happened? Who did she go to after this? And Govinda, go ahead.
He went to his brother. When he went to his brother Kara, and she fallen down on Kara's feet and sang, there's two boys they lives next to Dandaka forest, Dandakaranya forest, and with and Sita. And
very good.
Kara was very angry. He sent how many? 12.
Yeah, he sent many of them.
Many of them, and the Lakshmana
So
saw.
now you can pause. I'll ask Manhar. Just continue. What happened?
Okay, so what happened? Kara was so angry he sent demons to kill Rama, and then Rama saw the demons. He told Lakshmana, "Stay here with Sita. Take care of her because I need to go fight those demons." Then the demons came and Rama questioned them that why are you here to fight? We're just obeying the advice of Brahmanas, and we're just keeping them safe and keeping fruits and eating fruits and roots. Why are you disturbing us?
Wonderful.
And then they said, Master Kara said to crush you
because of Very
and then
wonderful. So now we are just going to go rewind ourselves before. Now, what about this, Varun? Can you tell me about these two Rakshasas, Vatapi and Ilvala? What did they do and what happened? What did Agastya Muni do?
So, they were like coming into the stomach, and then one of them would come out, and then they would burst their stomach. And then the demigods told Agastya Muni to do this. So like this, and then he ate the ram after but then he already digested it, and then he sent it to Yamaraj. And then the other one, he got really angry. So then Agastya, he also did same thing for that one.
Wonderful. He actually glanced at him and burnt him to ashes.
Yeah.
Ilvala. Okay, so now who else? Mihika. Can you tell me about Kashyapa? Sorry, not Kashyapa. Jatayu. She's not here? Mihika is not here. Okay. Looks like Mihika is not here. So who else?
Aki. Who's Aki?
Shiva, do you want to say who is Jatayu?
Jatayu is a friend of Dasharath Maharaj.
Wow.
Manhar.
See how nicely he's listening. Good job. And Manhar, do you want to add on to what Jatayu?
I'm gonna add on next.
You keep being frozen.
You're frozen? I'm frozen?
Yeah, you keep being frozen.
Not sure, dear. My computer is okay so far.
Manna, you have bad internet.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I'm not in my.
Yeah, no problem. Govind, go ahead. What about Jatayu? See, you're on mute.
Rama and Lakshmana and Sita was thinking Jatayu was a demon, but Jatayu said, "I am Dasharath's friend."
Yes. Wonderful. And I'm Dasharath's friend, and I'm going to protect.
Then Rama is Jatayu said, "I will when Lakshman and you go, I will protect Krishna." No, Krishna, Sita.
Wonderful.
And then what happened?
Lakshmana. When you go out, I'll protect Sita. Because there is a fear of the Rakshasas, I'll protect Sita.
And then Rama went down to Jatayu's feet.
Yes, yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much, kids. You are all so beautiful. So today is Ekadesi. Please make sure to pray to the Lord so that we can all progress. And with that, we will stop today's class. Continue about Shurpanaka in the next class. Okay, what happened and when will Ravana come now? Right now, she spoke to Kara. She has to also go and say this to Ravana, right? Somehow, because Ravana eventually has to come and kidnap Sita. So we will see what happens next class. So with this, we will adjourn for today. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Ramayan ki jai. Hare Krishna. What do you want?
Radhika Mataji ki jai.
Thank you, dear. All glories to the assembled Vaishnavas.
So my dad's phone number. So my dad's phone number is 203-570-9530.
Can you type 203
570
Hmm.
9530.
Okay. All right. Thank you, dear. So all of you all have a good time, and I'll see you all in the next class. Bye. Hare Krishna.